Unsung women heroines who changed the world. This video is to recognize some people who worked so hard but the world and colleagues cheated them out of the limelight. We know life isn't fair. But for many women in history, especially those from minority groups, life wasn't just unfair. It was designed to ignore them. While their male counterparts were lauded and given honors, these women worked quietly in the background, solving problems, changing lives, and laying the very foundations of progress we enjoy today. Many had to fight to even be allowed to be educated. It's time we called them by name. 1. Lisa Meitner, the mother of nuclear fission, but forgotten anyway. While Otto Hahn received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1944 for the discovery of nuclear fission, the truth is, he didn't do it alone. Lisa Meitner, an Austrian-Swedish physicist, was the one who explained how the nucleus could split. She was the mind behind the theory. But the prize and accolade went to her male colleague. Why she matters. Meitner's insights changed the world of physics. She was a pioneer at a time when women were told to leave the science to the men. 2. Alice Augusta Ball, the young chemist who cured leprosy. Born in 1892, Alice Ball was an African-American chemist who developed the first effective treatment for leprosy, the Ball method. She was just 23. But after her untimely death, the credit was quietly stolen by her professor, who published her work as his own. It took decades for Alice to finally be recognized. Today, her legacy is slowly being reclaimed. Why she matters. She broke both racial and gender barriers in science before the age of 25. Imagine what more she could have done. 3. Rosalind Franklin, the uncredited co-founder of DNA. You've heard of Watson and Crick. But you probably haven't heard that Rosalind Franklin's X-ray images of DNA were the missing puzzle piece that led to the discovery of the double helix. Her data was shared without her permission. She received no Nobel, no ovation, just posthumous footnotes. Why she matters. Without her, the structure of DNA might still be a mystery. 4. Chen Xiongwu, the First Lady of Physics. A Chinese-American physicist who worked on the Manhattan Project, Chen Xiongwu disproved the law of parity in physics, an achievement so monumental it earned the Nobel Prize. For the two men who theorized it. She proved it. But she was left out. Why she matters. Wu didn't just do experiments, she redefined physics. She was a pioneer, and yet few know her name. 5. Henrietta Lacks, the woman who changed medicine without consent. Henrietta wasn't a scientist. She was a patient. But her cells, known as HeLa cells, became the cornerstone of modern medicine, from cancer treatments to vaccines, to cloning and genetics. Yet her family didn't even know her cells had been taken, used, and commercialized. Why she matters. Henrietta's story is a reminder that the ethics of science must match the brilliance of its breakthroughs. 7. Jocelyn Bell Burnell, she heard the stars whispering. In 1967, while still a postgraduate student, Jocelyn Bell Burnell discovered the first radio pulsars, those mysterious signals from collapsed stars. It was a monumental breakthrough in astrophysics. The Nobel Prize? It went to her male supervisor and his colleague. Bell Burnell wasn't even mentioned in the acceptance speech. Why she matters. She literally changed how we understand the universe, and did it with quiet dignity. Today, she uses her prize money, from later awards, to support minorities in physics. 8. Marie Curie, the woman too brilliant to ignore, but still undermined. Yes, she did win 2 Nobel Prizes. But let's not forget, Marie Curie had to fight for the first one to even have her name included. When her husband Pierre Curie was first offered the Nobel in physics, he insisted Marie be recognized, as she had done most of the heavy lifting on radioactivity. Why she matters. She was the first woman to win a Nobel, the only person to win in 2 different sciences, and yet often referred to simply as Pierre Curie's wife. 9. Mary Anning, the fossil hunter who rewrote natural history. Born in 1799 in Lyme Regis, Mary Anning discovered the first ichthyosaur and several other prehistoric fossils that shaped modern paleontology. She was working class, female, and self-taught, so Victorian scientists took her discoveries, her credit, and her legacy. Why she matters. Without her, Darwin's theory of evolution would have had far fewer fossilized friends. 10. Katherine Johnson, the human computer who took us to the moon. For decades, Katherine Johnson, an African-American mathematician at NASA, calculated flight paths and trajectories that helped launch astronauts into space. She was instrumental in Apollo 11, but her story was buried in the footnotes. Why she matters. Without her calculations, the moon landing might have been a moon crashing. What do these stories teach us? That history often forgets the ones who didn't ask to be remembered. That credit, like opportunity, was often gendered, racialized, and gatekept. That excellence was not enough. Visibility was a privilege. But we have the power to rewrite that narrative. So, what can we do today? Speak their names. Honor the overlooked. Share their stories. Challenge the narrative. Don't let history be told by the loudest voice, let it be told by the true ones. Mentor others. Be the door opener for someone else's brilliance. We rise when we remember. These women never needed saving. They needed credit.